Okay, I'm here with Molly Brown, former Webb City, Missouri swimmer, small town girl, went off to Drury University and just finished her first Division II national championships last week. Now, from a small program to a pretty major college program, tell me, what's the difference?
The difference is probably just the team atmosphere. At Drury, it's so much more of just a big team working towards a common goal. And there's so much tradition and history of the Drury swimming program that it's just so amazing to be a part of that. And just to have your team there for you and rooting for you and to be able to contribute to that.
Well, I've tried to explain to some kids who are thinking about college swimming and then, kind of on the fence, and I always try to tell them it's like taking the best parts of club swimming and the best parts of high school swimming and putting them together, and that's what you get in college. Now, earlier we were talking about how you were doing workouts that were harder than you thought, but they're easier because of the team being around you. That applies to workout, but tell me a little bit about how that applies to the meet.
The meet, you just have so much more motivation to swim fast and to swim well because you know your team is counting on you and you know you have to live up to people's expectations, and your swim will contribute to the overall team standings, team points, and rankings. And so it's a lot more motivation it was for me to swim fast and have fun with it.
Well, you were telling me a perfect story earlier to kind of, I don't know, a story I'd want to share with a high school swimmer who's thinking about it, about being in the warm down pool. Why don't you tell me about that? Because I think that kind of summed up the team atmosphere for you pretty well.
After one of my races, I was in the cool down pool and I just swam my 200 backstroke. And one of our boy freshman swimmers, he had just swam his 200 backstroke after me and came over to the warm down pool. And I was just swimming backstroke, cooling down, and all of a sudden I feel myself getting lifted out of the water. And it was the guy on my team, and he was like, "Molly, you made top 8 in your 200 backstroke. I'm so proud of you." And it was just a perfect example of how much your team cares about you and how much they care about each one of your individual races.
And so Division II, the national meet, is combined men's and women's. It's a 4-day format.
Yes.
It's a pretty unique meet, and Division I is talking about going to combined men's and women's. How do you feel about it?
I think that would be a very good idea, just because it's so much fun to have both your men's and women's teams there to share the experience, to share the success, to motivate each other in different ways, and it makes it a lot more fun, a lot less serious. I know us girls are hard on ourselves a lot, and the boys are there kind of for comic relief sometimes, and the girls, we motivate the boys, so I think it would be a very good idea.
Oh, cool. I think that's one of the great parts about D2. Now, Division II has their commercials out that are, I chose Division II. When you went through the recruiting process, I know you were talking to D1 schools as well, and now you've been a Division II All-American after your first national meet as a freshman. All these kids out here being recruited, what would you tell them to consider Division II? I mean, it was a good choice for you, right?
Yeah, it was the best choice for me. And I think you should give Division II more of a chance because you have a lot of opportunity to improve really quickly and to see those improvements translate to rankings, standings, and also it was a big thing for me to be a part of one of the best Division II program around. And I think that's really exciting to be the best at something, and I think it's a really awesome experience.
It was exciting for us just that you got to contribute at such a high level. I mean, big best times translated to big points that mattered, and that's pretty cool to see. Now, what other advice would you give to any high school athlete going through the recruiting process now? Because I know that's a stressful time.
Yeah.
What would you tell a kid about how to make the right choice?
You have to kind of go with your gut feeling, and you have to make sure you have fun with it, because you will be spending your next 4 years ideally at that school. So you need to make sure that it fits you on multiple levels and that you get along with the kids there, the coaches there, and that it just feels like home. That was the thing about Drury. It felt right to me. And so just trust your instincts and it'll pay off.
Yeah. And that's, I think, I can't imagine a better fit for you than Drury, and honestly, after that national meet, it just kind of put the cherry on top of a
It
really
did.
great decision that you
Yeah.
made last year. Thank you for the interview.
Oh, thanks.